Welcome to this first look map tour with me, MrSealyp. So here we are in Upper Lusatia. This is my first look map tour. I'm a day behind, only because I'm on holiday, so I'm trying to get everything done while I'm away with my family as well. But enough of that. We start the map in a very unusual position. South of the map, not in the farmyard, not near any buildings whatsoever. This is a new map out by RitchiF and Redkeinstus, who bought us Altenstein, and I can't think of the other one. It'll come up on the screen. This is a nice small map. I think designed for small machinery. That's kind of the point of it. I don't think you're going to get away with big stuff on this map. So what we'll do is have a quick look, and this is it. Like I say, it's small. I think there are only 27 fields in total. Or is that 28? I'm trying to think. It's difficult to tell. 27, I think it is. If I go to soil composition, it's easier to see what fields we actually start off with. We start off with field 11, which I believe has got an arable crop in it. We've got 16, 17, 24 and 28, and I believe, we'll have a quick look, those are grass. Yes, so field 11 has got wheat in, and the other 4 have got grass in. There is other grass around this map as well. The fields are not huge. Field 23, I think, is the biggest field we've got on here. I think, let's have a look. I'm going to jump straight to here, and we'll have a look. So this is the largest field at 5.24 hectares. Quite expensive. Contracts are available, as you can see in the corner. So yeah, that's not 5.24. That's not huge. I mean, it's big. It's a fair enough size, let's be honest, but it's not, compared to some of the maps that have been coming out recently, which have had some absolutely gargantuan fields on, it's not too massive. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to jump to the farm. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh yes, that's what I was going to talk about before I move on. Upper Lusatia, a bit of history. I looked up online, found out real place and all that. Upper Lusatia, Oberlausitz is kind of the overall region name, and it's a historical region in Germany and Poland, along with Lower Lusatia. Upper and Lower Lusatia make up Oberlausitz. It's named Lausitz, not Lausitz, Lusatia. Lusatia is named after the Slavic Lusatia tribe. They're a minority group of people. I don't think there are many of them around anymore. They are Sorbian, and it's a Sorbian word meaning swamp. So that's where Lusatia comes from. There you go. I just thought I'd throw a bit of information in there for you. So what we'll do is we'll jump to the farm, and we'll start. I think we'll start there. Oh, actually, what we'll do, let's look at prices. Not too bad at all. We have got a lot in our silos. 9,000 litres of wheat, just under 9,000 litres of barley, 14,000 litres of canola, 10,000 litres of sunflower, 10,000 litres of soybean, 13,000 litres of corn. There are 3 main sell points on this map, and there are some smaller ones. We're going to look at all of those. The reason for having crops already is this, that you start off with animals. I know on Altenstein you start off with animals. I think Redkeinstus likes to do that. It's not everyone's cup of tea. I know if people run seasons, they don't like having animals because it's always hard with seasons to keep them alive through that first season if you haven't got straw and that kind of stuff. Don't worry, that has been catered for on this map. You start with 5 sheep, you start with 10 pigs, and you start with 15 cows. So that's actually not too bad at all. That explains why you start with a lot of crop already in the silos, because that will help you to keep up your pig feed until you can either buy pig food or until you can grow new crops, depending on how you intend to do it. The silo size, just talking of that, is 500,000 litres, which is a pretty impressive size. Sometimes we start off with maps with 100,000, sometimes it's completely the other way and you get one with like 5 million litres. It just, it depends. Whatever the map maker decides to put on. But it's got 500,000 litre capacity, which is a pretty good size for starting off our farm silo. Right, so let's head off to the farm. I will see you there in a moment. So here I am. I'm going to begin this first map tour properly from this location where I'm standing right now. If I go into the map and we zoom in, the main farm is situated pretty much right in the middle of the map with everything else going on around it. And you've got a road here that runs east-west across the map here. And the main entrance to the farm runs northwest off of that road just here. We'll zoom in a little bit more. And I'm standing just at the bottom, just here. So, I love this. The textures look neat, it looks tidy, it's really, really impressive. So this is where we're going to be starting. We're going to head off up the main driveway and into the farm itself. On the right hand side, greenhouses. Oh, hang on, what have I forgotten to do? I remember now. What do we start with? We start with a selection of various different vehicles. Nothing big, and I don't think this is a map that's going to require big vehicles. This is why I kind of like it. It reminds me a lot of the golden days of farming. I do like it. So we've got a Hurleyman, we've got New Holland, we've got a Case, various different front loader attachments. We've got a Case 1660 harvester and header, Metaltech DB8 trailer, and then small cultivator, plough, seeder, fertilizer spreader. But we do also start with a slurry spreader, manure spreader, some weights, mowing equipment, tedding, windrowing, loading wagon, and a pickup. We've got animal feed trailer, we've got an animal water trailer. Because we start off with animals, they're allowing for the fact you're going to need all these things. There is a small shelter, but we've got greenhouses on the map to start off with as well, and they are just here by the entrance. So you've got your own little market garden kind of already set up. I think that's really cool. I do like that. Now, if you don't want them, you can take them away and you can take that shelter away, and you've got a little placeable area just here. That would be entirely your choice as well. But we're going to head up into the main yard. This has got a really nice feel to it. Like I say, I like the textures. The road running up here, it's like cobbled or paved, or whatever you want to call it. Bricks. It's not just a plain, ordinary, boring track. We've got our foxgloves over to the side. And as we come up the path, we've got our sheep, I think it is. No, yes, sheep to the side here. Just to the side here, this is where we buy and sell directly if we want to, or we load or unload our sheep. And if we come around to the side here, we've got a wool spawn point here for our pallets of wool. Then if we come up this side, we've got our water trough just here, and our feed trough just here for our sheep. And like I say, we do start with some, and we have got some feed already in there. Not a huge amount, but we have got some. We've got some nice barn space on the left hand side, and then we come past, I think what is probably the farmhouse, into the main farmyard. We are facing north still, and there are a lot of little buildings dotted around. Our chickens are just over here to the left, and we've got our harvester in here with the header out the front. I like the fact it kind of looks a little bit overgrown. You know, it looks like a working farm. It's not pristine. There's stuff stacked around where it needs to be. I'm going to go round the yard, I think, kind of clockwise, and we'll come back to that in a second. So when we come over to the side here, we come to our pigs. Buy, sell, load or unload point is just here. If we go, I think we have to go around the side. I'm trying to work out. Manure will obviously get put there. Feed trough is here. If we come further round, we have our water trough, and then we come around this side, we've got our own unloading point for straw. I like the fact this is clearly marked. On a lot of maps you often find yourself going around, you find the feed trough, you find the water trough, and you can never locate where the straw is supposed to be unloaded. That's nice and clear, very straightforward, it's right in front of you. We've then got our silo, which is just here. The silo is brilliant, it takes everything. It takes pig food, it takes grass, hay, straw, potatoes, sugar beet, pretty much everything in here. So for putting into the silo, you do it here. For taking out of the silo, it's just here. We've got our Metaltech DB8 just under the shelter to the side there. And if we go through this little gap here, we have got fertiliser and seed refill points are just here, dotted along the side where you need them. That's our slurry for our pigs. It's a nice layout. I do like this. I haven't come across any light switches, so I'm assuming these are all automatic. I haven't found any anywhere. We've got some more machinery tucked away very, very neatly in the sides here. Oh, sneaky. John Deere machinery parts. That will come in handy after November. We have got silo, bunker silo here because the cows are just at the top section here. One of our tractors tucked away very neatly. So, feed trough for the cows just here. This is the cow pasture. Load, unload point is just here, and I like the fact you've got a cattle grid, not a gate. There's some really lovely features on this map. It's incredibly tidy, very picturesque. I do like it a lot. Then we come inside, we've got our water, another feed trough, water trough at that end. I think the straw, I'm assuming, goes over the rail here. This is the only one that I'm not too sure about because it doesn't really show it as being obvious. Actually, that's not the water trough, is it? That's the feed trough. That was a feed trough there, wasn't it? So, water trough, I'm not sure. Unless it's actually in here, is it? I'm probably finding this at the same time you are. If I find it at all. Let's jump over here. Slurry point. Manure's going to go there. Don't know then. Where does the water go? It's a mystery. Oh, anyway, yeah, while we're around here, like I said about supplying you with animals and giving you enough feed to start off your first season, what I do like about this map as well, they start you off with bales. You have got silage, you have got hay, you have got straw. So you can put some straw bedding down if you want to use them for that. You can make total mix ration if you want to make some total mix ration up, but you do start with a few. Not loads, but enough. Up on the racking, we've got some implements for the front loader attachers there. This is puzzling me about the water, but don't worry, we'll come to that in a bit. If we go back through the gap here into this barn space, we've got our workshop area, which is kind of here. All of our grass work equipment is tucked in here. But if I click on this, here we can direct sell or customise our vehicles. And if we carry on around, we've got our animal feed mixer, loading wagon, water trailer. Water is free and you can fill it up from, I think, pretty much all the water courses. There's a lovely little ford here that just runs across. And this is what I mean about being picturesque. I mean, look at that. That looks fantastic. So apart from the barrel that's been thrown in the river, of course. But I backed the water trailer in here and it filled up and it didn't charge you. So water is free, which is also another bonus. And we've got our manure spreader, muck spreader, and our slurry spreader just here to the side. So what I'm going to do now, jump into one of the vehicles. We'll do a tour round. We'll go and have a look at all of the various different sale points and enjoy the map as we go around doing it. Doesn't really matter what vehicle I use. I think I'll probably go with, let's go with the New Holland. Drop that off. So I'm going to do a weird kind of, I normally go clockwise around the map, so I'm going to go anti-clockwise this time, kind of anti-clockwise. I'm heading south out of the bottom of the farmyard. I'm going to zoom out a little bit as well because, you know, I think that's water as well. You can get water there if you want to pay for it, although I don't know why you would if you can get it for free. Seems a bit weird. There's lots of lovely little lanes and tracks and things dotted around. Actually, I can cut across there rather than going onto the main road. It's another one of those maps that's got a very realistic feel to it. It's got enough on it, not clutter, but you know what I mean, that makes it feel realistic. It's not sparse with nothing on it, but it's not overly populated with things that you look at and think, does that really need to be there? Actually, I've just missed the turning one, so I'll go down. So the first of our sell points that we're going to look at in our trip round is, I believe, the mill. I think it's Mueller. I think it says on the actual sell point page. But again, really, really nice. I think it's because it's got a mill to the side of it. So here's the first of our sell points we're going to look at. No particular order, because I don't think they go in this order on the actual sell point page, but here we are. And we'll have a quick look. Only because it is about halfway down. And the only reason I think it's mill is because mill, that kind of sounds like it. But around the side there, we've got the water wheel. I think it's mill. We'll go with that. If I'm wrong, please let me know. What we're going to do is continue along here, and we're going to go up into the woodland. There's a lot of forestry. If you want to do forestry, if you want to make some money doing it, there's plenty. And I'll put the lights on so we can see what we're doing. And like I say, there's some nice kind of levels to this. You've got hillsides and slopes, and you know, it's not all one big flat map. There's a lot going on. But again, the details and textures, I'm not noticing any lag through the trees at all. It's not playing up at all. Let's zoom back in here. But again, you've kind of got stones and leaf litter and stuff on the track. It's not plain, it's not boring. So we're now going across the southern part of the map, the southernmost point. That's where we started off the map, saw that little tower just there. And I like the fact you've got like fields dotted around. You've got to drive to get to them. They're not all right on top of each other. They're not all perfectly rectangle. Some are, some aren't. Some are small, some are big. Contracts are available on them as well. I haven't come across any gold nuggets, interestingly enough. But then that said, looking onto Terra Italica, I would never have thought to look down a well to find all of the nuggets. So well, maybe that's just me. Which I was going to go this way. There's some nice little touches here. You've got this kind of rock fall. They put signposts in to guide you around it. That's really cool. Some really nice touches. So the next of our sell points is going to be the sawmill, which is just off to our left here. With our lumber and our wood chip sell points. Now I don't know whether it would be referred to, I mean, I think on the description it said old timers map. That doesn't mean like me, an old timer playing it. I think it means like old machinery, small machinery, that kind of thing, not necessarily old people. What does that sign say? Forbidden, I know verboten. But I think it's a nice kind of beginner map. If you're starting out, everything's clearly marked and labelled, and it seems kind of obvious where everything is. It's not too big, not too much to worry about. The animals are all in one place. So if you're thinking of starting out on a map and you don't want to go for a really big one with lots of stuff going on, it's probably not a bad one to start off on. So coming out of the woods here, we're now kind of on the western-ish side of the map, not fully to the west. There are quite a few placeable areas. There's one just past here, and they are dotted around the map. So if you want to add in your own buildings, silos, whatever it might be, just machinery sheds, as on most maps, that'll be entirely up to you. So the next of our sell points is just here. Now, is that fuel sell point? The sell point, purchase point as well. Does the fuel thing come up? It does. Fantastic. So you can buy fuel here. I don't know if you can get the seed and fertiliser here. Oh, maybe you've got a thing over there. Now this is... Let's just check in the map. We are, like I say, we're on the eastern side. Did I say western side? Eastern side of the map. Agromar. If we scroll across one, Agromar is right at the very top. So this is the second of your main sell points. So the seed and fertiliser over there, so I'm assuming that's a refill point just there as well. And as we come just to the northwest of that, we've got our machinery store, a New Holland machinery store. but I'm sure there are other brands available as well. Direct selling customization point just there, and our purchase point just here. I don't think you can go into any of the buildings, I'm pretty sure you can't. It's a very small door. Now, which way do I want to go next? This isn't going to be, hopefully, well I say hopefully, not too long first look map tour, because it's not a very big map. So I think we're going to get around this fairly quickly. As we come into the little town itself, it's what I mean about being really picturesque. It's got a really lovely feel to it. I like the buildings, the design of them. I'm going to swing around to the north. Let's head up this road here. And again, we've got another one of these, it's like roadworks going on. And you get diverted off the road and around the side of it. I love that. Onto what I think is one of my favourite little parts of this map, and that's why I put it on the thumbnail. You've got this kind of pond, river kind of bit here, with the bridge going over, and you've got the floodgates just to the side. I just think it's a lovely, the details are brilliant. The water textures with the weeds underneath, it's fantastic. Really, really is very, very nice indeed. And just to the left here, we've got our spinnery, so when you need to sell your wool, this is where you're going to come to. Going to take a left, another placeable area to the right hand side there. Like I say, there's plenty of forestry, there are trees everywhere, so if you do like forestry, there's loads to do. You're not going to run out. For a fairly small map, there's plenty of forestry to be getting on with. So if you're thinking of running seasons, again, like I said before, it's a good way of making money in spring. Price of lumber is pretty good on seasons. And we come up to our next sell point. Now, this says, I think it says Realer. I think it's Realer. Realer, I made some notes on this as well. Realer is an actual company, and they deal in post-harvest technology for grain and maize. They produce processing plants, drying plants, silos. They will work with companies and farmers for the best solution for whatever it is they need to be dealing with. So yeah, Realer, they're a real company. Post-harvest technology. So this is the Realer sell point. Oops, don't know why I went off that. Which is second from the bottom, just there. That's the third of the main ones. Now, there are a couple that I haven't found, interestingly enough. There's that one there, which I can't pronounce, and I'm not even going to try to, I apologise. The third one up, and then the fifth one up there, I didn't find either. They're not marked on the map. One's for selling manure, one's for selling slurry. I did find a slurry and manure sell point, but they're not actually labelled, so I assume maybe that's them, but we'll get to those in a little while. So, let's go through the sell point here at Realer. And then we're going to head north, I think, northish. There are too many good maps coming out at the moment, and I really do mean that. I mean, not that any of the maps that have come out have been awful. I mean, most of the maps that come out are absolutely fantastic. But you know how some maps just kind of capture your imagination? The Terra Italica I've just really liked. This is another one, because this reminds me of the golden days of farming. It's small, there's enough going on, there's loads of detail. And I think it'd be really suited to small machinery, and I haven't done a map with lots of small machinery for a while. But then obviously Shamrock Valley's due out as well, so you know, lots of decisions to make. But we are heading now to the northwest corner of the map, northwest-ish. And here we'll find our livestock market. It's not marked, there's no sign anywhere, there's not a huge bull out the front or a big sheep or anything like that. But it's tucked away just here. The main road runs across the north of the map, just over there, and you kind of turn in off the main road here. And it's just here. If we go into this little bit here and click on here, all the animals are available, so if you want to transport them yourself by trailer, this is where you're going to come to collect your animals. I think, oh yeah, Is that fuel as well? Yep, another fuel point. What we've also got over here is another customization point. And this is where the pickup is. No, actually, I assume, is that seed and fertiliser refill point as well? It could well be. Without bringing a trailer up, I'm not 100% certain, but it could well be. For a small map, there's plenty of places for your seed and your fertiliser refilling needs. And we've got another placeable point just to the north of here. Now what I'm going to do is run down the western side of the map to the last couple of sell points. I'm either going to leave this bit in so you can enjoy the scenery, or I might jump cut there. I'm not too sure at the moment, but whichever I choose, I'm going to stop talking for a moment. Right, so we come around the corner just here. We have got our BGA. It says farm BGA. It's a fairly small one, only 2 bunker silos. We have got our digestate tank just over here, and as per usual, this will come down to a bit of, you know, guesswork potentially. I don't know. I could be proved wrong. We've got a ramp up to the sell point with our digester just here. I don't know whether or not you can tip a trailer into here, or whether it'll be buckets that will be required. It's like I've said it before on plenty of my first looks. It's always you see the ramp and think, oh brilliant, I'll be able to tip into it. Then you bring the trailer down and you can't. So I don't know for definite. I haven't tried. You may be able to tip into there from a trailer. That may just be to help you with your access with buckets, wheel loaders, various different bits of machinery. So that is your BGA. Again, I like the detailing on these tanks. It looks a bit rusted, and I say a bit rusted. It looks rusted and old and worn and used. It's not brand spanking new. It's not all perfect. It's really, really nice. It's got a good feel to it. Tucked away in the trees. And now we're going to go, and this is another one of those lovely features that didn't need to be in here, but it's great. If I go up here rather than follow the road, we now come up on the barn sell point. Got the raised section right in the middle of the map there, with the little tracks leading all over the place. If I go over the bridge here, and into this yard, we've got a stables, which again in FS19 is becoming going to be far, far more relevant. But we've got stables to the side there. We have got a sell point for grass, hay, straw, and then we've got a manure point here, and we've got a slurry point there. I'm assuming those are the 2 words that A, I couldn't pronounce, and B, I couldn't find. I did bring a trailer over here because I did wonder whether they were purchase points and not sell points, but it wouldn't let me purchase. So I'm assuming these are both sell points, and they're the sell points that I couldn't find from the main map. Now I think that's actually pretty much it. We're going to head back towards the farm. But I like it. I like it a lot. There's plenty of little shelters dotted around all over the place for your machinery. But it's not a huge map, so even if you kept all your machinery at the main farm and just drove out to do your fields, it's not like you're going to be driving for hours and hours and hours. But it is very, very good indeed. RitchiF and Redkeinstus have done a brilliant job on this. Actually, rather than go back on the road, I'm going to stick to little tracks, I think. Oh, maybe not. I think I'll come off this one and then go into another one. Just here. Which should if I've done this right, bring us back to the main entrance of the farm with our little market garden, greenhouses just there, back up into the main yard. I'm going to have one last look around the cow shed, only because I'm not sure about the water situation. Like I say, there's plenty of lights dotted around and I haven't found a light switch, so I'm assuming they're automatic. I know I did say that earlier, but I've just seen the lamppost there as well, so I'm assuming that's the case. So what I'll do, I'll pull up just here. Now the fact we've got the water source just there, where we can get free water if we want to. I'm not missing it in here, there's not a trough around the side, is there? I know on one of the maps, what map was it? Where in the middle of the pasture there was like a dip in the ground and you actually put the water into that dip in the ground. It was like ended up being like a little pond. Hang on, what's over here? There we go. Water trough. Just there. How did I not spot that when I came in earlier? I suppose it is in the shade of the tree, that's why I didn't notice. But there you go. There's the water. Brilliant, I'm happy I found it. That's good. And that is about it for the quick tour round. Everything's here. I like the fact you start with animals. I like the fact you start with enough crops so you can feed your pigs. I like the fact you start with bales. The scenery is fantastic. There's plenty of logging to be done if you want to do that. Like I said, it's a small machinery map. There are no fields on this map that are going to require massive big bud type machinery. Very, very nice, very well presented. Cool little map. I like it a lot. I hope you found this first look map tour interesting and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.